So the onions have been outside for a couple of weeks. The weather has now turned properly autumnal. We're getting rain most days, so we've brought the onions in and we'll probably keep them in here for a couple of weeks before we put them away for long-term storage. And these were all grown from sets. So for me, I've got a lot of nostalgic memories growing up. Visiting my grandma, and her greenhouse and conservatory would be filled with tomatoes, and the flavour was like nothing else. So to see all of these tomatoes in here, you know, we've been eating them daily, has just been an absolute pleasure. Now, here we've got the yellow pear variety of cherry tomato, and to be honest, they are a total disappointment. You know, they've grown really well, we've got lots of them, we've eaten lots of them, but there is no flavour to them, absolutely none. You know, really disappointing. Now these sort of smaller to medium tomatoes are Gardener's Delight, and the flavour of these is outstanding. I've used a few in a curry, in salads, sandwiches, and this Gardener's Delight is just absolutely brilliant. You know, couldn't fault them. Sun Gold, these lovely orange cherry tomatoes, are without doubt the best I've ever had in my life. And as I remember going into my grandma's greenhouse and plucking a cherry tomato, they tasted divine, and that's how these are. They're slightly sweet and just packed with flavour, incredible. The other cherry tomatoes, the red ones, very bland, very boring, much like the yellow pears. However, when you roast them, incredible flavour, really brings it out. So, you know, if you've got a tomato that's a bit bland, a bit plain when raw, then put them in the oven and roast them. So here's more Gardener's Delight. You know, we've been trying to leave a couple of vines just to ripen up fully, just because it looks so cool. The San Marzano plum tomatoes, we've got this one not doing as well, but we've got some nice big ones down here, but whether they'll ripen, you know, who knows. A lot more Gardener's Delight, they've done really well. Loads of the Sun Gold, just absolutely phenomenal this variety. Now we have got some San Marzano ripening up. These will be lovely to make a passata with. The cherry tomato, yeah, this is a big bloody cherry tomato. The Cherokee Purple beefsteak tomato. This is obviously from the Native Americans, the Cherokees, I believe. Now this is great in sandwiches, and you know, Sarah's made curries with these in the past, but we have never had purple Cherokees this big. Now these are just absolute monsters. More red San Marzano down there. The cucumbers, we've still got a couple kicking around, and we've been eating endless amounts of cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, lettuce, spring onions. So the runner bean hedge has been prolific. We just couldn't keep up with eating these beans. So we've taken to blanching and freezing them. So we'll have a nice supply over winter. The French beans finally started producing lots of legumes, and the French beans are just absolutely gorgeous. Really, really a favourite in this household. The raspberries, the canes that had fruit have died back, and up in their place, you know, we've had about 4 more canes come up. So, I mean, we've never really grown them before, we've just had them in pots. Now they're in the soil, they're going absolutely crazy. We did not expect this in the slightest, which is, as you can tell, why we've got the carrots in there. You know, they're if we'd had an inkling that they would go like this, we wouldn't have put the carrots there, and we would have spaced these out much more. So at some point these are going to have to get dug up and spread out. You know, they need a bit more space than what they've got. The Crown Prince has been a phenomenal success. We've got a few just beautiful squashes. So yeah, that was a baby skull last time we saw it. Now it's now it's a toddler's. The metre square bed. Wow, we've had so much produce in the main bed that we haven't even touched this stuff yet. But you can see that's all doing lovely. These Cavalineros are the new ones. We've been picking these on the regs. The Russian kale, the purple vein Siberian kale. Yeah, sorry. I think Siberian kale, this curly one, and then the Russian kale, this purple one. Absolutely brilliant. One thing I would say is that the purple kale, no trouble whatsoever. The Siberian kale has been getting aphids on it, so the Russian kale seems way more resistant. The perpetual spinach, honestly, you could just, I can't even tell you how much spinach we've eaten. You know, this stuff just seems to grow back the day after. Sarah even planted some more baby perpetual spinach at the back here, and you know, this is all ready to eat. The beetroot, we've made some gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous pickled beetroot. I mean, look at the size of that monster. You know, that's incredible. We were picking it much smaller than that. I think I followed Jeffrey Hamilton's advice on the spacings, 5 seedlings, so many inches apart, but no, clearly these guys needed way more room. You know, you've got one monster beetroot there, and then obviously the others quite a bit smaller, but you know, roasted beetroot is absolutely cracking, so couldn't recommend that enough. Now look at this bad boy. Oh my goodness, the weight of that is insane. Absolutely insane. Sarah's just done a cracking job with these squashes. A few little baby ones here as well. So the spring onions, I mean, my days, we've been eating 1 or 2 every day, and that bed has still got plenty more to give. It's quite something. In the old onion patch, Sarah's got some autumnal carrots. I think it's Autumn King. They're all coming up now. Got to be a bit careful where I walk. The cos lettuces, well, you know, again, daily pickings, just cracking. The Swiss chard, you know, we've been using that for the geese, the ducks and the chickens. Been eating it ourselves. There's some more beetroot. Oh no, it's more baby Swiss chard at the back. Get a closer look. Yeah, so more perpetual spinach, or maybe, no, that's all Swiss chard. Little gem lettuces. They're actually forming nice little crowns. Again, with these, we've been picking off the outer leaves, you know, ones that are separated from the crown. And these taste a lot like the butterhead lettuces, very nice. The oat leaf lettuce, wow, just crazy, you know, absolutely crazy. So we've got the leeks and the spring onions. I'm not sure, I think these are the leeks, these are the spring onions. The celery, we grew celery at Staffordshire in quite clay soil. No, we didn't. We grew it in Aberdeenshire in sandy soil. But our veg patch was, God, it was like 9.5 miles from the nearest tap. So keeping it watered was a serious chore. So it never really did that well, but here it's looking much better. Thanks to Sarah keeping on top of the waterings. The potato bed. Well, the potatoes we've harvested up to there, and it seems like one plant does a meal's worth, sometimes 2 plants, and the potatoes have been incredible. I've never had anything like it. Maris pipers, and you can have them as like, they taste like new potatoes, you know, boiled with a bit of butter and mint. We've made potato wedges with them that were just absolutely outstanding. So, very good variety to grow and cook with. The curry, yeah, I mean, this curry has been very, very good. You know, we've got a lot of squashes on the vine with these. You see these are, you know, sort of smaller cantaloupe size. The courgettes, basically we got a lot of blossom end rot at one point, and we incorrectly assumed it was just too much water, but it turns out that actually we couldn't have been further from the truth with that. It's either not enough water, or calcium or magnesium deficiency, which, you know, it could be, because I did put some compost underneath them, I think, but who knows. Sarah's taken steps to give them more water, and it's certainly looking better, that's for sure. You know, yeah, like Sarah just said, making a real comeback. There you go. The rhubarb is still, I'd say it's slowed down now. We'll probably get another picking out of it this year. But the comfrey, this was at the ground level, you know, it was cut right back. I've put it in a few weeks ago, and it's, well, it's just over 1 foot tall now. The rhubarb underneath, these were absolutely tiny, and yet you could probably get a little harvest off them as well. So what I'm going to do now is harvest a ton of this spinach, because no matter how much I pick, it will not go down, and I'm going to blanch it and freeze it. So we're, you know, going to take steps to have some produce in winter now, and I think next year the aim will be to extend this veg patch right out, and, you know, get a chest freezer and aim to make ourselves very self-sufficient throughout winter. So here we go. Absolute monstrous amount of spinach. That bed's been thinned out. This bed has been thinned out, and it doesn't really look like it. We've got probably a good few kilos here. We've just gone through the beetroots, picked out the bigger ones. So I'll be making more pickled beetroot as well. And the girls are having a nice beetroot salad. Little update on the veg. Quite remarkable really. This was all, a lot of it, just a foot tall. You know, now it's my height. It was, well, being willow, it generally grows in you know, waterlogged areas along riverbanks and such, and I neglected to water it, and a few of them died, but as soon as I started watering it again and we started getting some rain, it bounced right back. I think what I might do next for next year is plant some more along the edge of the allotment as a windbreak. And the new girls have all started laying. These are the leg bar eggs. They lay these lovely bluey green eggs.